Hello my friends and welcome back to another Brotato Ultimate Nightmares run, where I take the characters that are hardest to beat on the new Nightmare mode, as chosen by you, and try to win with them. Today we're going to be playing the Arms Dealer, which a lot of people have requested. This character, of course, has to reset its weapon pool every wave, and so you can end up having pretty bad weapons for the wave. And we're going to be jumping in. I chose a random map here, so it looks like we're on Crash Zone, and we'll see if we can get a win with the Arms Dealer. Now, typically, I think that the Arms Dealer is a pretty strong character in general, because the economy boosts that you get on this character are pretty significant. But not having the right weapon set on Nightmare mode is definitely more of a challenge than it is on Danger 5, where you can end up with significantly worse weapons overall. Here, I'm going to just take 5% attack speed no matter what weapons we're using. That's always going to be good. And while we do want both ranged and melee damage, I'm going to roll here, and we'll pick up 5 harvesting as well to make sure that we can get a solid weapon set. I don't really care about flute or revolver, and glasses we're just going to ban. Book does give me engineering and elemental damage, which can work with some types of weapons, but I think we're going to ban that as well. And I'll just take my free reroll here. I'm looking for melee weapons mostly for the first few waves in order to just give us the highest chance of being able to clear as many enemies as possible. Spiky shield or slingshot, those are fine weapons to buy, and honestly, I'm just going to buy these two while they only cost 1. Lens and mushroom are decent items, so I'm going to pick up both of those and reroll. We'll buy another spiky shield. Baby elephant is a very solid item for this character. You want non-weapon sources of damage on the Arms Dealer, things like baby elephant, cyberball, and so on, because that way, no matter, even if you get a bad weapon set, you can still put together some decent damage output. I will lock these two items, and then I don't have a support weapon tag yet, but I'm going to lock sickle. I think I'm happy with just 4 weapons for the next wave. So I'm locking the sickle here so that we can maybe get support weapons and get a little bit of extra harvesting going into the next wave. When you're playing the Arms Dealer, the thing that you should be thinking about is what will my next weapon set look like? And so usually you want to be locking... Typically, I prefer melee weapons because it's a little easier to make that happen. You want to be locking a good weapon to make sure that you can find weapons like that in the next shop. 10 luck is good. Finding higher level weapons, of course, is great. And we'll take 5 more harvesting here. And then I'm going to buy these items, and we'll buy the sickle. I'm going to pass on the icicle, I think. I'll roll because I want support weapons, since that will give me some of the... money back that we spend on them. I definitely want more than 2 weapons here, but penguin and helmet are good. So I'm going to roll here. We'll buy another sickle. I'll roll again. Ghost axe is also a weapon where you keep the bonus across multiple waves. And so you can benefit from that as well. But I think just the 4 support weapons are going to be good here. I'll buy 1 more sickle, and I'm not going to lock wand, but I will ban pencil, since we probably won't be doing that much with engineering. This means I don't have a specific weapon set locked for next wave, but by virtue of how I have played this wave so far, we have a bunch of extra harvesting, and so we're going to have a slight economy boost going into the next wave. And although you don't keep the harvesting from the support weapon tag after the Arms Dealer disappears all your weapons, you do keep the harvesting growth from having higher harvesting. And so that gives you a pretty significant bonus. I wasn't able to kill the tree there because I didn't see it in time. I'll take 8% or 10% attack speed again. No matter what weapon we're using, attack speed's always good. We'll buy penguin and ghost scepter, and I'll take the cake. Ghost scepter can again give me some bonus stats. I will pick up a laser gun here, and I'll roll, and I'll buy a whistle and another laser gun. Is spoon worth locking? I don't think so, but hedgehog gives me both melee and range damage, so it's relevant no matter what type of weapon we're using. A level 2 laser gun, I think I'm just going to buy. We're going into... No, this is wave 4 Crash Zone, so there's no lamprey here. So I'll just buy the cake here, and then I'll roll again, and we'll lock plant and penguin. Plank is a bad enough weapon that I'm not going to bother locking it, but I'm happy to play with 4 weapons on wave 4 here. 3 of them being laser guns is a little bit dangerous, and we probably will not end up getting any bonus HP off of the Ghost Scepter, but we should at least make decent money. Oh, I guess laser gun is pretty good against the flies if we're using the enhanced flies here. If we're using a ranged weapon, then this is one of the better ones to use against it, since it's going to kill them in fewer attacks. I probably maybe should have bought the plank. I would have killed a couple more enemies. Scared Sausage, another non-weapon source of damage, so we're happy with that. And then Crit Chance works on most weapons, but I think I'm going to reroll here. I'll just take 4 melee damage, and then I'm going to roll again, looking for a level 2 upgrade, and we'll take 2 armor here. Alright, we're going to buy all of these items, and then I'm basically just going to buy whatever weapons I find. I will ban Small Fish, just because it's a fairly bad item overall. Feather and Head Injury we can leave in the pool, and then we'll buy a knife here, and we'll buy a crossbow. I won't be able to buy another item, but I'm going to lock Cauldron. Lifesteal is okay, but I think I'm just going to ban the bat anyways, and we'll reroll, and we'll lock a Loop Arm. Going into Wave 5 with just 4 weapons. This is definitely a little on the dangerous side. Only 4 weapons on Wave 5, and that's going to cost me some materials, so I probably should have bought 1 fewer items and focused more on getting weapons last wave to maximize my income here. Just need to focus up a little and make sure that I'm buying a little more optimally in the shops. Was hoping I could kill that tree and get the consumable heals, and we did, and so that let me survive here. 200 materials with 33 on the ground is fine for Wave 5, but I definitely could have done better if I'd managed to pick up a few more weapons. So bad play there, but we can recover. Do I want 15 luck or 3 range damage or 4 melee damage? I guess I'll take 15 luck. And then here, I'm going to buy these items. I'll buy the Lightning Shiv. I'll buy Mutation. It boosts 2 damage types again. And then we're going to buy these 2 things. Here, I'm going to lock, and we'll roll for items, because I really need more items. You're guaranteed to see a weapon, or more weapons, rather. You're guaranteed to see a weapon every reroll with the Arms Dealer. So we can lock these 3 items. Alienize another non-weapon source of damage, so we're happy with it. And we'll roll here. Sadly, I rolled a level 2 weapon, which I can't afford. But I do think that that Harpoon Gun is a totally fine weapon to have here. And we have a decent weapon set for Wave 6 Crash Zone. It's not amazing, but we do enough damage in a large enough radius that we should be able to clear out the eggs and the goobers as they hatch, mostly. The eggs all spawned in completely opposite sides of the map, so I'm not going to be able to kill all of them here. Oh, killing 2 of those summoners at once was really bad. Summoning multiple sets of goobers so that I couldn't clear them as they spawned. Jelly is usually going to be a decent amount of bonus HP for this character, so we'll take it. We'll take 8% damage. And then here, I could roll for armor. I could pick up movement speed to offset my movement speed. I could just take 6 melee damage. Let's roll, and I'm going to try for armor here. I'll roll 1 more time, and we did find armor. Alright, so now I can buy all of these items, and we'll reroll. I am just going to buy these 2 weapons, that's fine. Spyglass, I think I can buy it here, and we'll ban Piggy Bank. This character has to spend a bunch of money on weapons, so you never really want to try to save money. I'm, again, just buying everything that shows up in the shop. Normally, I want to be a little more intentional about what weapons I use, but because I did mess up a little bit in the early game, I've just been having to use whatever weapon set kind of shows up. Here I'm re-rolling so I can try to lock another good weapon, and Chopper and Knife, the level 1 weapons here, I think are fine. I will lock probably both of those just to make next wave a little bit easier to figure out what weapons we're using. Starting now, I really need to get 6 weapons every wave, and so my much more relaxed approach to what weapons we were getting, which also was not perfectly calculated. Really needs to change at this point. Obviously, when you're doing these random character, random weapon challenges, sometimes you need a second to focus up on how to play the character the best. Also, I'm playing at a disadvantage today because as I'm recording this, it's the first, like, really nice day of summer. So we got the grill out, we've been, you know, hanging out outside all day, and I've had a few beers. So I'm playing at a disadvantage. Banner here, attack speed, of course, is great. We'll take a pocket factory and another banner. That's all totally fine. I could take 4 elemental damage. Elemental is the least likely damage type for us to use. We're much more likely to use melee or range, but this is a level 4 upgrade. But I think I'm just going to take 6 max HP here, going up to 33. And then I'm going to buy this entire shop. We'll roll again. A Spyglass is good. Spyglass is good in multiples, and Spicy Sauce is another non-weapon source of damage. Let me take a Ghost Scepter, because I probably get like 1 HP off the Ghost Scepter. I'm going to lock Peacock, buy the Spyglass. I think we'll pass on the Spicy Sauce, and I'm going to roll here. I'll buy another knife, and I don't need either of these. I'll roll again, buy an Icicle. I guess I do have a Scared Sausage, which works with our elemental damage. Oh, good damage dealt there. Really, really nice one. And then we'll buy a revolver here. We'll lock the metal. Will-O-Wisp, maybe I should have bought that earlier even. I think I will buy it, because we have a Scared Sausage. I wasn't really paying attention to that. And I'll lock a Javelin, because it's one of the best weapons we can find. When you're using a mixed melee and ranged weapon set, like we are right now, basically just think of yourself as a melee character. Typically, you shouldn't be using a mixed melee and ranged weapon set unless something weird is happening, or you're playing the arms dealer or like a generalist or something like that. But when you are in that situation, just play to the range of your melee weapons. It'll make it easier. Unfortunately, I don't have quite enough damage that my Ghost Scepter is one-shotting even the weak enemies. And if it was, we would be fairly likely to get bonus HP off of it. But since it's not, we're probably not going to. Got a loot alien kill there. And then we're making good money every wave thanks to having high harvesting. Losing crit chance is a little painful, but I've got to fix my movement speed. We'll definitely take the compass here. I'm going to re-roll this. And I'll take 6 melee damage here, even over the elemental damage. I'm going to buy the Peacock and the Javelin, and I think I need to wait a wave on Will-O-Wisp. So I'm going to buy the metal here and roll. Buy another Javelin. Focus is pretty bad for this character, but Scared Sausage is good. But I need to roll for weapons here. So I'm just going to buy my weapon set. We'll buy a couple sticks. That's fine. I'll lock a snail. I think that's good enough to buy. And scissors, I don't really want that. We can do better. Let's buy a grenade launcher, and we'll roll here. Spear, great item to lock. That's going to give us a very good weapon set for next wave. I just needed enough damage this wave that we could clear wave 9, which of course requires us to do good AoE damage, and also on Nightmare mode be able to clear the summons. I will say, I disagree with the decision to add the summons on Crash Zone, the summoners on Crash Zone early on. I think this is like one of the least fun enemies to play against in the game, just because you end up having to spend all of your effort on caring about that specific enemy. And it decreases the number of viable builds that you can build on Nightmare mode. I would have liked to see a different high-level enemy instead of the summoners be the one that appears on like wave 6 and 9. Alright, 4 levels from the Peacock, that's great. I'll take Riposte. We probably will not end up with enough dodge to make it do damage, but, you know, 2 melee damage is fine. And then here I could actually start building dodge, but let's take 2 range damage, because I probably am just going to be using that pretty frequently. We'll take 10% more attack speed, and then here I'm going to roll again. I'm looking for armor. And I'll take the 3 armor here. Oh, I have even another level up. Sure, we'll take 6 more max HP. Alright, I will buy a Will-O-Wisp to go with our Scared Sausage. We'll buy a Spear. We'll buy a Snail. We'll roll. Bottom line, really nice. The pets, of course, work very well with Arms Dealer in general. Do I want a Claw? I think we can do better. I will buy a Fresh Meat. I'm going to roll here, and I'll buy Brick. Brick is fine, even if it breaks, obviously, you get the money. I'm not buying Bottom Line because it's really expensive, and I think I will buy just the Cake and not the Cyberball to give myself a little more opportunity to find decent weapons. Let's roll here, and sure, I'll buy another Brick, and I'll roll again. I'll buy a Lightning Shiv, lock Sad Tomato, and buy Cyberball. That was kind of a weird shop, but I think that we ended up with a decent weapon set. I don't have another good weapon locked, but I have 2 baby elephants and a Cyberball. We got our Will-O-Wisp alongside our Scared Sausage, our 2 Scared Sausages. So we should be getting a decent amount of elemental damage starting soon. Especially if I can find like a Pocket Factory. Or no, I have Pocket Factory already. So that should be setting enemies on fire a lot. Which will make our Will-O-Wisp a little bit better, and we should be getting some decent free elemental scaling. Kind of regretting not buying the first Will-O-Wisp. I had forgotten that I had Scared Sausage there, and that because we're playing the Arms Dealer, that's a more viable path to winning the game than it would be on other characters. Because we buy damage at an increased rate on this character. Alright, Will-O-Wisp will definitely take. Losing 2 melee and a range damage hurts a lot, but I need regen and health, so I'll take that. I'll take 12% damage here, because of course the Arms Dealer increases all percent damage and all base damage. I'll take a Bottom Line, I'll take Sad Tomato, I'll take Cyberball. I'm not going to buy Hand, I think we can do better for weapons. We'll buy Revolver and Crossbow, and I'm going to actually pass on Black Flag. This is Crash Zone, so it's going to be hard to get enough money. Although, the extra enemies is... this early a Black Flag going into the Horde Wave, I think, is still definitely worth it. Spicy Sauce, at this point, it does do a lot of damage, but let's just keep re-rolling, and we'll buy all of these things. Roll again. I could take another crossbow, but let's take a slingshot. A level 3 sharp tooth I don't really want to lock because it's such a bad weapon in general, but I will lock anchor and jousting lance for next wave. And basically the goal here is, again, just to make sure I have a good weapon set, especially going into the Horde wave. Do I want mastery? It does decrease my range damage, which is going to hurt me on some waves, but usually we're going to want the mastery more. We'll want the melee damage more than the range damage. And of course I can manipulate that by locking melee weapons. So I do think that buying the mastery is going to be good here. Getting a ton of elemental damage from these double Will-O-Wisps, and our Scared Sausages are actually starting to do real damage. I mean, they're ticking only for 13 right now, but as we continue to boost our elemental damage, they will actually start being a real component of our damage output. In a way they almost never are. So that's one of the really fun things about Arms Dealers. You get to play with items like Cyberball and Baby Elephant and Scared Sausage that are normally kind of weak, only for fun secondary damage sources, and actually have them be great. We'll take a Vigilante Ring, we'll recycle the statue here, and then I'll just take 2 more armor. Obviously need as much of that as we can get. I can afford to buy both of those non-weapon items and still be able to roll for weapons. Alright, Plasma Sledge, an incredible find going into the Horde Wave. Weird Food, I'll definitely buy. Do I want Sharp Tooth or Dynamite? If I buy the Sharp Tooth, I can buy Dynamite and get a free reroll. I think that's fine. And then I'll roll. Obviously, Fairy is great here. We'll buy a Quarterstaff, because I am starting to run into not having great weapons, but Plasma Sledge and Anchor together should be enough. At this point, do I want Spicy Sauce? I think I'm still going to pass on it. And I will buy... I'll lock the Rock, I think, because this is going to be a really solid weapon for next wave. And we'll buy another Jousting Lance, and I'll do one more reroll just to see if there's anything good that I can buy here. I could lock Icicle and ban something, but I think just keeping these two items locked is going to be perfect. And the Fairy will solve all of my healing issues. So it is harder for our Scared Sausages to work while we are using a melee weapon set, but a melee weapon set, I think, is generally easier to play on the Arms Dealer, just because you get more damage, and you're more likely to be able to... Like, having the right ranged weapons matters a lot. A mixed ranged weapon set can often be somewhat difficult, because you might have, like, a crossbow and a shotgun and a couple other weapons that just don't really synergize. They have the wrong weapon tags and so on, and want you to play in fairly different ways. But a melee weapon set is always just going to be reasonably okay, even if you have a very disparate set of weapons. Wow, we're really getting the mark of the beast here. Yeah, I will take a pumpkin. It decreases my damage a little, but we will get some piercing weapons, and we'll take alien magic. I'll pick up 20 luck here, and then 3 more armor. Going up to 16 armor is great. We'll buy fairy and rock, and I'll buy a flaming brass knuckles. I'm going to pass on the medical gun. Another baby elephant is pretty nice. I have 5 engineering, so the nail is even damage on ranged weapons and damage positive on everything else. So we'll buy that. We'll buy baby elephant. We'll buy goat skull. I think I can just buy the wand here. It's an elemental weapon. It's fine. We get a free reroll as well. I'll buy a hammer. That's a good one. We'll buy a helmet. Lock hunting trophy. Buy sharp tooth. And this I'm just buying kind of slightly random weapons. Oh, wait. Actually, I have -9 crit chance, so hunting trophy is terrible here. Whoops. I'll lock the sword, and we'll buy a flaming brass knuckles, and this should set me up very well for next wave as well. And I'll lock broken mouth. And go to wave 13. The challenge with this weapon set is just that we have a wand, which is okay, given that we have good elemental damage, but it's a level 1 wand, so it's not doing that much damage. And we have a sharp tooth, which is just a bad weapon overall. But we're reasonably good at killing stuff in melee with our hammer, rock, and brass knuckles. And those, of course, can spread fire as well. I think I did ban a snake early on, and that has turned out to not work out well. We would be very happy to have snake, since we ended up with double scared sausage. If I'm remembering correctly, I banned snake. But that's not something that I'm that worried about. Obviously, we would be fine to have it, but I'm happy to have banned it in order to just get better items earlier. I could take the level 4 upgrade. I don't need max HP that much, though. I could just take more elemental damage. I could take more regen. Let's just take the level 4 upgrade, though. And then I'll buy Broken Mouth Sword and Vorpal Sword. Pretty nice weapon set there. Sure, the harpoon gun is fine, and it saves me from having to reroll. We'll buy a tree. I'll buy a javelin. Wings, I definitely need more move speed, and the range actually isn't irrelevant either. Let me pick up the campfire, though, and then roll, and we're looking for more weapons. I'm going to pass on all of these. I'll roll again. We'll buy an icicle, lock a blazemander, lock a whetstone, and roll one more time. Do I want a claw? I guess it's fine. We already have good weapons. We have the sword and the Vorpal sword, and the level 3 icicle is fine as well. So having a level 1 claw shouldn't be too bad. And it lets me buy a blazemander here, and then I'm going to reroll, and I'll lock both of these weapons because they'll both be pretty good going into wave 15, which is a horde wave. maybe that locking the grenade launcher was a mistake there. I might not want that in the horde wave. I picked it up, obviously, because it's an explosive weapon. And I was thinking, you know, explosive weapons are good for the wave that wants you to have good AoE damage. But we are relatively low on range damage, so the grenade launcher won't be doing that much per shot. I think it will still be worth buying for the horde wave, but I should have thought about that a little bit more. Trying to focus on clearing all of the summons as they spawn. Just so we don't have to deal with infinite goobers running around. And of course our cyber balls and baby elephants and so on do give us some advantages in that respect because they kill the goobers, but they also make it a little harder because they kill the summoners. I'll take a recycling machine for 25. It should pay for itself. Silver bullets, a nice find. Losing 8 luck here isn't great, but we obviously want to increase our movement speed, and fixing our lifesteal is nice as well. Here I'll just take 4 melee damage. I think that's totally reasonable. We'll buy both of these weapons. I'm gonna buy the whetstone. I'm gonna pass on the wings for now because I want to make sure I have an okay weapon set going into the horde wave. So I might need to spend a bunch of money on it. And we'll buy Ghost Flint. That should be worth a point or 2 of attack speed. I'll take the Vorpal Sword. I'm going to not bother with the Shuriken or the Cacti Club. Neither of those are great. But the Circular Saw should be decent healing. And then I'll pick up the Goblet, lock Goat Skull, and roll. And I would love to lock the Screwdriver, or I'd love to lock a weapon there, but Screwdriver is too bad a weapon. So I will lock Eye Surgery, since our Scared Sausages are such a big component of our strategy at this point. Alright, I killed all of the enhanced scoobers at once, enhanced summoners at once. Disastrous play by me. And that's going to make this wave extremely difficult. Because I was not paying attention to them all being on top of each other and did not clear the summons as they spawned. Now I'm going to try to clear the summons of those ones as they spawn, but we have to clear the summons before I kill too many more goobers. And the thing about before I kill too many more summoners, the thing about it being a horde wave as well is that as more enemies spawn, if I'm not clearing all the enemies, they will despawn the summoners, and when they despawn, they do summon. So you need to be very careful there. Fortunately, here, my healing is good enough. Now that there's a lot of enemies on the field, our lifesteal and consumable healing let me just run directly at the enemies there, so that part worked out. We'll take the salt water, 4 armor, perfect. That's it. Exactly what I need. Buy the brass knuckles, I'll buy all of these items, and then I'm okay with all of these weapons. We'll just ban the toolbox and then reroll here. Take another brick, that's fine. Pick up a garden metal detector. It does work with my luck-based damage items, but I need to roll for another weapon, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy the fertilizer just for the 1 regen at this point. The harvesting obviously isn't great. We'll lock Warhammer and buy Screwdriver here, because I kind of want to keep the Warhammer up until wave 18, so we can use it to kill the elites. And now that I have a good weapon locked, let's go to wave 16. Also going to drink some water here. I will say that the Scared Sausage stuff is doing great. The double Will-O-Wisp has been excellent. Okay, I lost my brick. That is a little worrisome, of course, because now we only have 5 weapons for the rest of the wave, and we could get in trouble there, but we do also get a bunch of money out of it. Brick being generally very good for the arms dealer. We'll obviously buy any other pets that we see, because all pets are very good for the arms dealer. And the main focus is just to make sure that we have a good weapon set every wave, and that we continue to buy non-weapon sources of damage to keep clearing the waves efficiently. Defective steroids, great. We'll take a rat, of course. Do I want to start building dodge now? I think it's a little too late, so I'll just take 3 regen here. I will pass on the Warhammer, because I want to keep that for level 18, just to make sure I have a really good weapon for level 18. I'll take a sharp bullet. I'll take an ugly tooth. Lighthouse does work okay with our nail and with our pocket factory. Pocket factory only counts as one structure for lighthouse, no matter how many turrets spawn. I'm gonna roll here, and I'll take a chopper. Peaceful Bee, I think I can take still, because it gives me a regen, and we'll roll again, and we'll buy... I'm going to have a fairly bad weapon set this wave, because our weapon isn't guaranteed when I'm re-rolling the... when I have Warhammer locked, so we're not guaranteed to see a weapon every wave. But I should be able to get at least 6 of some sort of weapon, and that should be enough for wave 17, and then we can keep a level 4 weapon locked for wave 18, and kill the elite quickly. Obviously, killing an elite is going to be one of the challenging points in the run, and so we want to make sure that we have a decent weapon set in order to do it. Wave 17 Crash Zone also isn't super dangerous. Wave 18 is. So I want to make sure that my weapons are better for wave 18 than they are for wave 17. Another reason to play it the way that we did. I think that basically people... The like main challenge when playing the arms dealer is that you need to think one wave ahead. And Brotato doesn't really train you to do that. It trains you to like solve the immediate problem that your build has. And so I think people are not used to thinking in the way that this class requires you to. I actually have 13 dodge now, so I can actually build dodge at this point. Oh no, wait, that was because I had 2 ghost weapons. Never mind. I was not paying good attention there. But this should be a pretty solid weapon set going into the boss fight. We'll take the sword. I can buy blindfold because now I do actually have a decent amount of dodge, and the crit chance isn't relevant right now, but might be if I get a little bit more. I will buy Claw Tree. It goes well with these weapons, but I'll pass on Pile of Books because it would only get me to 2% crit chance, and I still need to roll some more weapons. Level 1 Javelin, I think, is fine. I'll take a Gentle Alien. I'm going to roll past both of these things. Okay, Drill is really solid for this wave, and I will take it. It doesn't... We aren't going to get extra money from it, but it will help me kill the elite very easily. And then I'll lock Thunder Sword going into the next wave. Obviously not buying Weird Ghost, but I will buy an Alien Tongue when it is worth a regen as well. Gonna run at the enemy here and use my powerful weapons that we locked, the Warhammer and the Drill, to kill the elite as quickly as we can. And then I need to clear the buffing aliens, and I need to make sure that I'm clearing the goobers as soon as they spawn. Again, prioritizing which enemies I'm killing is pretty important on this wave, and specifically on wave 6 and 18 of Crash Zone. I think that that's another kind of like new thing for Brotato, where you don't normally think that much about which enemies you're facing. It's just not that important on Danger 5, and it's not that important on most waves, even on Nightmare. But on these waves in particular, you do have to pay attention to which enemies are where, and focus on making sure that you don't let them spawn. I will take the Octopus. Decreases my crit chance, but tons of defensive stats. I'll take a Corrupted Shard. Curse Tentacle won't do anything, but it gives me a little extra curse, and, you know, maybe we find some crit chance. Precise Weapon is not... a few precise weapons is not a ridiculous thing to find here. I'll take 3% more lifesteal just to make sure that we can stay healthy. And I will buy these items. I'll roll. Thief Dagger and Shuriken, those are fine. I'm going to roll here. And I'll lock the Obliterator. I want that for the for wave 20, since it's very, very good against bosses. And then I should probably buy a little bit of range damage to go with the Obliterator, because we have -1, and scaling our range damage will matter. I'm going to actually buy the Curse Coupon here, and we'll pick up a Thunder Sword. Will-O-Wisp at this point is a little bit too late. But we will buy a shotgun. I'll lock a flamethrower because that will be very good next wave. And ice cube we'll buy as well. Pick up a weird food and I guess a claw tree. Roll again to see if I can lock another good weapon, and we'll lock a cursed shotgun. That's another totally fine weapon to take into the boss wave. And then if I see a range damage upgrade, because I have shotgun and obliterator, so, you know, I would prefer to be using melee weapons because we've spec'd more heavily into melee damage, but the ranged weapons, really good ranged weapons, showed up in the shop, so that's what we're going to buy. So if I see a little bit of ranged damage, I'll take it in order to scale our level 4 obliterator going into the last wave. I think that crate that we just dropped was from the loot alien. I heard the sound cue but don't see one, so I think it spawned under us and we killed it immediately. And we made almost 1,000 materials. Sure, I'll take another baby elephant. I'll take a metal here. I'm going to re-roll this and re-roll again. And I was, you know, happy to take range damage. I'm also very happy to take 15 attack speed. That's fine. We'll buy these 3 weapons. Propeller hat is some healing and some damage. And some damage from our luck-based damage items. I guess I'll take it. I'll roll here. Medical gun could be some lifesteal, but let's take a turret and re-roll here. I'll take a rock just for the +1 armor. Incendiary turret isn't going to be particularly good. I'm going to roll again, and again, I'm just looking for good weapons here. Flaming brass knuckles, not amazing. I'm going to re-roll. I'll take a knife. That's fine. Additional damage. Riposte, I don't think I care about with only 16 dodge. And mace scales with negative attack speed, which we don't really have, but is an okay weapon. But I think I'd rather just have the taser, because we have so much elemental damage. And then I'm just going to roll. I'm basically looking for upgrades to my weapon set, either by directly upgrading these weapons by finding more copies of them, or just by finding better weapons so we could sell some of the ones that aren't that great. Keep rolling here. Sure, I'll take another rock, and we'll roll again. I don't really want to lose attack speed for 23 HP, because we have tons of HP. The cursed brick I could take, it is a lot of damage. So I think I'm going to sell the shotgun and buy the brick here. Even if it breaks, it should do enough. And then I'm going to sell this knife and buy an icicle, since elemental damage is what we're really looking for. Exoskeleton is -5 regen, but a lot of other good stats, so I will pick that up. Do I want the minigun? It's basically infinite healing with our lifesteal, but so is the flamethrower, so I don't really need the minigun. So let's roll again. Torch, we do less burning damage with than the flamethrower. No, it's the same amount. So I could buy the torch here. I could pick it up over the taser, maybe, and then we get a little bit more HP. Sure, I think that's fine. It's not major optimization, but it's a reasonable one when we're just going into the last wave and trying to survive. And then we're going to go to wave 20 here. Trying to stack the bosses up and keep them being both hit by the flamethrower to maximize our damage output. They split up, so we're going to kill the octopus head boss first and then run after, or kill the Titan second. We'll kill the Colossus second. Kill the octopus head first. And there we go. That is the arms dealer. I think that this character is overall challenging for players just because they're not thinking about what weapons they should use next. And so that's where you can really run into difficulty. You should be able to lock some decent weapons each wave, and that combined with the additional damage modifiers and the fact that this character gets really good economy boosts should give you a solid weapon set and let the really high stats that you get overpower the game. 150k damage from Scared Sausages. Honestly, lower than I expected it to be, though they were still pretty impressive. Given that we had, 100 elemental damage, but I think we were just killing things too fast with our actual weapons for the Scared Sausages to get that much value. I just bought this turret just so I could see how much damage the Pocket Factory did. It was only 41k, so that goes along with my theory that our weapons were killing stuff a little too fast. What did we get here? 99 materials from the Loot Worm, not that amazing. Our spyglasses were incredible. A lot of materials saved on those. We had 78 bonus elemental damage from the double Will-O-Wisps, so obviously a ton there. 45k damage on Cyberball, and 50k damage on Baby Elephant. So even on this character, where I do think that you do want these items, they didn't do as much as you might expect. Our bottom line was solid, 31k damage. Our Blazemander for 69k damage, nice. And we had a rat as well somewhere in here, right? Yeah, the rat only dealt 8.5k, so definitely lagging behind. The Silver Bullet was great, double Whetstone and a Curse Whetstone was awesome. We ended up with incredible healing and really strong armor, as well as really decent damage overall. Alright, my friends, hope that helps you with the arms dealer on Nightmare. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, then feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you next time.